Hello! Hey guys, Jackie here. Today I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about cards from the Whispers of the Old Gods expansion that I'm going to miss. That have kind of been around for a couple of years now, and yeah, I'm going to be sad to see them go. And so we'll start with an obvious one, Yogg-Saron. I have been a big supporter of Yogg-Saron. I love the card. I think it's probably the most fun card Hearthstone's ever had so far. Obviously, it is literally just an RNG fiesta. You never know what's going to happen. It's completely random. So there's been a lot of kind of things in the competitive scene where a lot of people don't like it because it's just too random and can pull people back from ridiculous situations. But in terms of fun, Yogg is amazing. I've had so many good and bad experiences with Yogg. It's one of those cards where you can be in a terrible position, but you can be like, oh, if I can just survive 2 more turns and get my Yogg off, maybe it could do something crazy and win the game. Sometimes it would do. And it's been a lot of fun playing this card. So I'm definitely going to be revisiting Wild at some points to play Yogg, because it's just so fun, man. What a guy. What a guy. Praise our Lord. Yogg. Next we have Fandral. I think Fandral's just been a very well-designed card, and I think it's been... There's just been so many different things you can do with it. Currently in the game, you use it with, like, Nourish, Wrath, the Death Knight. There's not that many things. But, in the past, you could use it with, like, Raven Idol. In tokeny decks, you can also use it with, like, Power of the Wild. I also sometimes was able to pull it off with Wisps of the Old Gods. You play Fandral on turn 4, and then this was when Innovate still gave you 2 mana crystals. You do Fandral on 4, and then you'd Innovate Wisps on turn 5, and then you'd have a ridiculously massive board out of nowhere. Yeah, Fandral's just one of those guys where he's a must-kill target. Like, when you play Fandral, your opponent's like, oh god, I've got to kill that, or he's going to do some crazy stuff. So yeah, Fandral will be missed. I'll miss not being able to choose both of my choose one options and having to only pick one. Bye bye Fandral. Next we have Ragnaros Lightlord. It's been an interesting card because you don't always know where the 8 healing is going to go. Like, your opponent can play around it a little bit sometimes. Like, if you obviously only have 1 target damage, then Rag's obviously going to heal that. But your opponent can, like, put 1 damage into certain minions to try and make it less likely that Rag Lightlord heals your own face. You can do niche things with, like, Tarim or Equality to set all your minions to the same, like, either 3 health with Tarim or 1 health with Equality, which means that none of them are damaged, so you can guarantee the healing on your face. So there's a couple of quirky things you can do with Ragnaros Lightlord, and it's just been a really, really great card, because even though it doesn't have Taunt, even if you're against an aggressive deck, they know that if they don't kill Rag Lightlord, it's just going to keep healing you for 8 health every turn. And yeah, I think Control Paladin will still be perfectly fine without Ragnaros Lightlord, because Paladin has a lot of other control tools. They've got lots of taunts, lots of heals, some decent removal, lots of weapons. So I think Control Paladin would definitely still be a thing and still have potential to be a thing. But Rag Lightlord has been one of my favourite cards for the archetype for a while. Next we have Shadowcaster. Shadowcaster hasn't actually been able to see that much competitive play. But as someone who plays a lot of different kind of wacky decks and experiments a lot of the time, Shadowcaster has been one of the most amazing cards for me, because there's so many different archetypes of rogue you can play it in. I've played it in Cthulhu Rogue, in Elemental Rogue, in Mill Rogue, in all different types of things. And it's not, like, ridiculously overpowered, but there are some crazy things you can do with it. Like, sometimes you can go infinite with it, with a Rogue Death Knight. There's lots of Rogue minions that are really good to have as a 1-1, because there's lots of Rogue minions that have a good battle cry, like Edwin, or combo cards like SI7 Agent. There was a time when Bran was available to play, you can do, like, Bran Shadowcaster things as well. I think this has been such a fun card to play. It's been really, really amazing, actually. The most I've played this card was probably when I was playing Elemental Rogue quite a lot. And you can get things like Blazecaller. Vile Spine Slayer is really, really good to get with Shadowcaster. Like getting a 1/1 that, if you combo it, destroys another minion that's for 1 mana. Like, that's ridiculous. So yeah, Shadowcaster's been... it's one of those cards that I wish you'd seen more play, because it's a really interesting card, but it hasn't quite fit into that many rogue archetypes. Like, mainly rogues have been playing like Miracle Rogue, there's been aggressive tempo rogues. And with Shadowcaster, it's like, you need to have a minion on the board to get value out of it. Like, if you're playing this onto an empty board, it sucks. So really, you need to be playing a deck where you do have the board. Because otherwise, it's going to be really hard to get Shadowcaster value. So, and Miracle Rogue, for example, isn't a deck that has many early game minions, so you're not that likely to have the board on turn 5. So Shadowcaster's never really seen playing Miracle Rogue. It's definitely better in the tempo style decks. It will be missed. Next one is Renounce Darkness. Now, this card is obviously a complete meme. It's just... yeah, it's just one massive meme, really. But it's one of the cards that I've had the most fun with. Like, if ever I thought, oh, let's play a completely wacky meme deck, I don't really care about winning that much. I just care about having tons of fun. Renounce Darkness is my go-to card. I'll be... like, and it's not like... the thing about Renounce Darkness is it's not, like, completely terrible. It's just so random. Like, you can get you can turn into any class. And obviously, the thing that makes it potentially powerful is that every card you're switching gets reduced by 1 mana. So you could play Renounce Darkness and then suddenly have a hand of really powerful cards that are all 1 mana cheaper, which can give you some really good tempo plays and can just completely make you steamroll people. But then the downside is that potentially you could just end up with cards that are completely useless or don't synergize with each other, and then it doesn't even matter that they're 1 mana cheaper because they just suck. So Renounce Darkness has been a lot of fun. There's a lot of games where I'm trying to like life tap a couple of times before I renounce, so I get 1 massive hand, and then I use Renounce and get a big hand of reduced things, and you have lots of options on what to do. Yeah, it's gonna be missed. I want them to bring out more cards like this though, because it's obviously a card that's never gonna like see competitive play, but it's just so fun to play. Like, if you just want to have fun, cards like this are just the best. So I hope we do see kind of more cards like this. Ravaging Ghoul. Now, I'm not a massive warrior fan, to be honest, but Ravaging Ghoul has just been a solid card. It's nothing too fancy, nothing too flashy, but I think it's just been a card that has been... it's been in and out of the meta, and I think it's just a really well-balanced card. Like, it's very good against aggro, because it's having, obviously, a 1 damage AoE while having the tempo of a 3/3 body. But it's nothing insane against control decks. It's literally just a 3-mana 3/3. You can use it to activate... you can use it on things like Armor Smith or Acolyte of Pain to draw your extra cards. You can use it to activate cards like Sleep with the Fishes or Execute. So I think it's just been kind of a card that has slotted into Warrior really nicely and has lots of nice synergies with other things Warrior does. Yeah, I think this was just a very well-balanced card. Okay, next card you might be surprised to see I'm missing is Flamewreathed Faceless. The 4-mana 7/7 itself. And even though 4-mana 7/7, when this first came out, everyone was like, oh my god, 4-mana 7/7, this is busted, blah blah blah. This is crazy, it's going to break the game, it's too strong, etc. There was a phase where it was completely busted, but that was partly because of the other tools Shaman had. Like, Shaman had Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem and just really strong early game, and then combined with Flamewreathed Faceless was really insane. Whereas right now, Shaman doesn't actually have that good early game, and so no one plays Flamewreathed Faceless at all right now. Like, you never see this card, even though it is obviously really strong. But why I really like this card is that it actually fits into multiple types of Shaman. Like, I had a lot of success with this card in more of a Crusher Shaman, where you're playing you have lots of removal in the deck, but then you're playing lots of beefy minions which you can use like Ancestral Spirit and Faceless Manipulator on and Faceless Shambler, and basically just get all these big bodies and taunts and like Earth Elemental. And generally, control decks, or any deck really, will have a couple of answers to big minions, like a couple of polymorphs, or a couple of siphon souls, or something like that. But eventually they run out, and then you just are able to smack them in the face with these big minions. And that's been a deck that I've really enjoyed playing over the past couple of years. So I'll definitely be missing Flamewreathed Faceless for that reason. Not so much for the aggro shaman reason. Next card I'm going to miss is Cabalist Tome. Cabalist Tome has seen a lot of play in like the quest mage type decks, where they're trying to complete the quest as fast as possible by playing cards that didn't start in their deck, and then OTKing people. So it's been pretty cool in that, and it's one of the cards that has made that type of deck possible. But the main reason I like this card is just because it's, other than quest mage, it's seen odd bits of play here and there. But the problem is that it's very slow, so it hasn't been able to see that much play. But what I like about it is that it's obviously a random effect. You're getting 3 random cards, but then it's random within a pool. Like, you know roughly what you're going to be getting. Like, you know what all the mage spells are. You know you're either going to be getting a secret, or some burn, or some kind of AoE like a blizzard or a flame strike. And mage has a lot of powerful spells. So a lot of the time, Cabalist Tome can kind of help you find the kind of answer you're looking for. And it's very great for just if you're kind of running low on stuff. Just, oh, let's just Cabalist Tome and get some great new mage spells in my hand, and then I'm good to go again. So yeah, just I mainly like this because of the value it gives you, and kind of like, I like the kind of random value. It's not like, oh, endless value. It's like just a bit of value, but this value could be different things. It could be removal, it could be burn, it could be a secret. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And I generally like any card that can give you like a random secret, because it makes your opponent have to think about all the potential secrets it could be and play around it. Yeah, I think Cabalist Tome was a cool card. The last card I'm going to miss from the Whispers of the Old God expansion is Mire Keeper. Obviously, ramp is one of Druid's main kind of attributes, and one of the first things you think about when you think of Druid. But Mire Keeper, I think, has been a really good ramp card. I played it a lot when Token Druid, there was like a Yogg Token Druid that was really good that I played a ton of. And Mire Keeper was great for that. Like, the fact that you can play it as a 3/3 and get the ramp, and then use that extra mana to set up like potentially big valid teacher turns and stuff like that. But if it's later in the game, you can use it for more tokens instead. We have the 2/2 slime, which you can use with like Power of the Wild and stuff like that. I think it's a very well balanced card, and it's been like, it hasn't always been in every Druid deck or anything like that. Like, it's not completely busted, but I think it's been a very nicely balanced card that has given Druid a really nice ramp tool. Like, there's some ramp cards in Druid that I really think are probably a bit too strong, but I think this is one that has just been really well designed, and was a great card to play around with. Bye Mire Keeper. Yeah, I mean, I think Druid's my all-time most played class, so this might be a bit of like bias here, but yeah, Mire Keeper was great. All right. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you on the next video.